Hello and welcome to 4,000 and counting. I'm Watty. This is Mark, and today we have many signings to go through. It seemed like the back end of the week it's gone crazy signing wise. We'll kick off in the Elite League. Our friends over at the Belfast Giants have signed Kieran Long, still the best chant in the Elite League. Oh, Sisimi Longer, and they've also signed Sean Norris full time. That boy earned his Elite League contract with his performances in the back end of the season. Very happy to see him progress up to the Elite League, and hopefully this gives him an opportunity to go. Shut up, Sky. Go play in Pool A next year, which would be a fantastic achievement.
Well deserved. We said that he would. That we're hoping that he gets his call up, and with his time with Belfast, he showed he was more than capable of playing regularly in the Elite League. So it's a great move and a great club to be a part of.
He takes himself seriously. You look at him off the ice; he's in very good shape. He's lean. He's got like a good muscular, athletic frame on him. He's fast, and I look forward to once he's actually properly experienced in the Elite League. We've not even seen anything from him yet.
Yeah, and I want to add as well, Kieran.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, imagine once he's played 60, 70, 80 games.
Sorry, solid.
Sorry, people. There must be someone outside because the dog's going crazy. Yeah, like by the time he's played like 80 games, what level he's going to be at. So you was going to say something there.
Yeah, Kieran Long as well is a Brit signing. He's a great player. He really does all the dirty work, and he's a bit of a favourite in Belfast. So great to see him re-signed back in Belfast.
Oh, I love Stringers. He's a great player, and he's another one that he's won trophies with Belfast consistently since he went there. So his move from Manchester over to Belfast was a very smart one on his point, because he ends up with 3 trophies back to back in the league, plus many others. Yeah, it's a good move for him. Interesting to see what happens to Lewis Hook, because I don't know what happened to Lewis at the end of last season, but he didn't feature in many of the games in the run-in, and I don't believe he featured in the playoffs. I don't know if he got hurt. I'm not entirely sure, but they haven't announced him as of yet. It'd be interesting to see if he doesn't go back there, where he ends up. Any speculation or any thoughts on where Hooky might end up, or do you think he stays with the Giants?
I can't see him with the Giants. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where he goes.
Potentially on the move. What about Mark Garside? Is he back again? Does he come back and go again? Like, the man's played like 1,000 fucking games. Like, it's a joke. He's ridiculous. He just keeps getting it done. His performance never drops. Will he be one of the other Brit core going back to Belfast?
Yeah, smashing the guitar out as well.
Yeah, he smashes the guitar.
Yeah, I'd like to see him back there.
Yeah,
That'd be cool, but
as well.
I think I just think it's gonna happen. He seems like a part of the furniture in Belfast for many years.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job since he just went there. Very versatile, still eats minutes, eats pucks, can chip in, and yeah, I really like him as a player. Definitely want to get him on this podcast at some point. He'll be a fun lad to talk to. What else have we got signing wise in the Elite League? I know Mark Richardson, he's gone back to the Devils. That's a solid re-signing for them. To be honest, I thought they'd already announced it. I'm pretty sure we'd already spoke about Richie going back there. Maybe we just presumed, because let's face it, he wasn't going anywhere else.
Exactly. It's just one of the names you just see on there. It's like John O'Phillips was with Sheffield.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the same with Richardson and the Devils. So yeah, solid re-signing. He wasn't going to be anywhere else. And they've also signed someone new. So Cardiff have got a new import, Jamie Arneal. He comes from the Dell. Let me just check his stats quickly. He had a solid season. So they play in the Dell 2. He was with the Castle Huskies, 47 games, 17 goals, 31 assists, 48 points overall.
Yeah. Good numbers. And what was his previous numbers like prior to that season?
So he had a split season with Bratislava Capitals for obvious reasons for what happened with the club, unfortunately. He was 14 games in the Ice Hockey League. He got 4+7, so 11 in 14. Then he finished the rest of the season with Poprad of Slovakia. 37 games, 20 goals, 21 assists, 41 overall.
Yeah, I think he's a
A
nice addition.
previous, just want to run in on his previous experience. So he was drafted by the Boston Bruins in 2008, fourth round, 97th overall. He featured in one game for them. He went on to play 2 big years with the Providence Bruins before going to the Dell and then the Liga for a cup of coffee before continuing his career with numerous seasons with Dornbirner in Austria in the EIHL at the time. A spell in the Vienna Capitals, back to the Dell, EIHL, and then he went, Dell 2, Ice Hockey League Slovakia, back in the Dell 2.
I like that. He's well travelled, that's for sure. Yeah,
Nice signing.
solid. And the fact that obviously to get drafted, then to play a game for any fourth rounder to play in a game, it's not a guarantee. To also then have a couple of good seasons in Providence as well. We know the AHL is a good league, so this guy sounds like he's got good pedigree. Thing is, Pete's seen him in that league week in, week out. He knows what he's about, and he'll have a good eye on him. So I'm expecting big things for him. People are wondering, is Kugler gone out of Cardiff? What do you reckon?
See, again, on that stupid rumours thing, I've seen that he's off to Germany.
I wouldn't be surprised. I imagine
whether that happens or not is a different thing, but yeah, that would be a loss.
His phone was ringing off the fucking hook this summer.
Oh yeah. Go further, go faster, get fitter. Subscribe today. Hurricane e-bikes have a great range of bikes available on the e-bike subscription plans. The cruiser e-bikes are perfect for beach rides, long distance rides, or just everyday use. The fat bike e-bikes look great and can cope with the toughest terrain, perfect for off-road adventures. The hybrids range are perfect for about town, everyday use and leisurely rides with the family. Take your ride to the next level with the mountain bike and get ready for your next power-assisted adventure.
Like, he had a hell of a year last year, so interesting to see how Pete goes about building his team. We're pretty certain we know who the Brits are. The imports are really going to be what changes. One of the imports that is changing is Kuzan. He is on the move and he is heading to Coventry. If you've already seen our episode with Danny Stewart, we talk about it a little bit in there. So we'll kind of, if you haven't, go listen to our episode with Danny Stewart. What a guy. But yeah, Kuzan going there. I love that move.
That's a solid signing.
Absolutely. And they've signed a kid called Kent, from 24-year-old, coming out the NCAA. First pro season, obviously bringing him in to back up Kuzan, but he's going to be pushing him all the way and he's going to want to get some starts. And Kuzan's going to want to prove that he is a number one in this league. So Danny Stewart's going to have a good headache on him.
Well, Kuzan, in his last 2 seasons with the Devils, his first season, 18 games, a 2.67 goals against average, a 0.911 overall with the percentage. And then the season just gone, 25 games, he got a 2.20 goals against average and a 0.928 save percentage. So Coventry have got one hell of a goalie.
You say that save percentage again? I missed it.
0.928.
Yeah, that's almost 93%. That's solid. He's an exceptional talent. I really like him, and he's obviously a very good team guy to be able to go in and be initially like a 1B, and then take that amount of games off a guy like Ben Bounds. You know, you've got a serious goalie on your hands, and I'm always interested to see how guys do coming out of that NCAA. It's a fantastic level, especially playing for one of them big schools. It's an exceptional program to be involved in. You're going to be competing so hard every day in practice. You're going to be competing against future NHL stars, so you're going to have solid pedigree. Interested to see how he goes. Obviously, the Blazers just, I don't know. I like what they're doing.
It was great when we just had the interview with Danny Stewart.
Yeah.
Soon to be out, by the way. So check that out when it comes out. That should
I think that'll be out before this.
Within the next.
I think that'll be out before this.
Well, check that interview out because Danny Stewart is probably one of the best guys I've spoke to in hockey. I really liked what he brought to the table. The discussion, we were speaking for about an hour before we even recorded.
Yeah, that's why
that was fun.
We look absolutely shattered because I think it was like 1 a.m. in Vienna. It was 12 here. I think I was up for my first client at 5:30 that morning. So We just done an episode with Nats Aldridge. We ground that night out, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was worth it though.
And
Two wicked interviews. So also don't
really
forget
good
about Nats's
interviews.
interview as well. Lots to talk about women's hockey, talking about some of the youth prospects. Obviously, on this podcast we talk about some of the prospects that are coming through potentially National Elite League or whoever's going to be into the GB program in the future. Nats gave us pretty much of a rundown of some of the girls that we expect to see doing the same with the GB women's team. Something that we don't get to talk a lot about, but we are going to be getting some more girls on throughout the summer. So if you like women's hockey and you want to follow and you want to get to know some of these girls a little bit, stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like these videos. Mark, Tallberg also gone back to the Blaze. 31 tucks last year. This guy is like no joke.
He was a fan's favourite, I believe. Rightly so.
Well, if you score 31 goals, that'll go a long way to do that. Right, that's some serious goal scoring prowess. Be interesting to see who they line him up with. Who they're going to bring in, stick on a line with him.
I'm interested to see where they go.
They get like an ultimate disher. Guys that could just dish. Think about like, okay, let's throw it back to this, Cobb fans. Like a Carlson to a Calder. Calder could snipe. Carlson could fucking dish.
Yeah.
He could dish, mate. Like, just go and stand in the right place. That guy's going to put puck on your stick, give you an opportunity to score goals. This guy can score goals. Play him with someone like that, and he is going to get a hatful again next year. Big things for the Coventry Blaze.
Could you see Ferrara back at Coventry?
Yeah, I could.
If Nottingham are having this clear, I know they're going to be desperate for Brits now, but actually, are they? They've got some solid Brit signings in Tetlow and Betteridge being back, but I always wondered with Ferrara, things didn't really click with him last season. You don't become a bad player overnight, and
he's not a bad
things
player,
seem to go really well for him with Coventry. So
yeah,
I've always wondered if he'd end up there.
He might. Yeah, he very well might do. He hasn't been announced as going anywhere yet, but they did announce on his Twitter yesterday, on his Instagram yesterday, that obviously he's expecting a baby, but they've also got engaged. So congratulations. That's awesome. Nice to talk about Coventry. Actually, we haven't spoke about Coventry too much. Obviously, we've not really had anyone on then to get the big dog. That's always good. And now for them to start making some signings around about that time, it's nice to talk about some of these clubs, because some of the clubs they're very quiet. Like you never talk about Fife. Fife don't talk about fucking Fife. Like, give us a chance here. But we can only go by the information that's out there. We're not like NIHL insiders here. But that being said, we want to talk about all the clubs. We want to continue to grow the game. So if you're new here and we haven't spoke about your club, maybe let us know. We'll try our best. But we are going to move on. Any more Elite League? I think that's the Elite League one's done.
There is okay, so we'll go from the Elite League into the National with Tom's Rutkis coming from Dundee to MK.
Yeah, very solid signing. I like Tom's. He's a good player. Remember him from when he was a youth, playing in like the Southwest and stuff like that. Great talent. Went on time at Swindon, been up in Dundee for a while. Going to be interesting to see how he goes in this league. And by no doubts, I think he's going to be a very, very solid player. I saw a couple of people questioning his offensive output, 9 and 10 points or whatever it was in the Elite League the last couple of seasons. I remember he's playing on a shit team, and he's going to be playing not PP minutes, not top minutes. He's going to come down to MK. They're going to play him. He's going to get lots of opportunities. Tim Wallace will use him in the right way. Tom Rutkis will be fine for points. Don't you worry about that. That's
the thing. He's not like the star signing for MK. No. I mean that in the most respect. He's going to go to MK and he's going to do a great job because of the depth of MK's players. And with his ability, especially now being in the Elite League for a couple of years, he's going to get better. Okay, he's not going to get what you touched on there. He's not going to get that, but he's going to have experienced a hell of a lot of tougher level games to be able to go to the National and be able to compete. So I think with the line mates he'll have at MK, he's going to have a decent year. Yeah, he'll have a big part there, mate. Absolutely. So interesting to see that they lost one to the Elite League and they've taken now Ross Venus and Tom's Rutkis from the Elite League down to MK.
obviously they've got a lot of the same pieces, but they're starting to bring new pieces in, and it'll be interesting to see who they add into that mix. Anyone else for MK? No, I think that's it.
No, but they're looking decent.
Looking very tasty right now. What else have we got? Who should we go to next? There's signings all over the place at that level this week.
Oh, so we go with Stevie Whitfield back at the Wildcats.
Mr. Stevie was never going anywhere. I love the fact that he isn't known for his goals, Stevie, but on the Wildcats thing, they put like a little play reel out. He's like not known for his goals, but here's a highlight reel of him. He's like sniped one from the point, and then he sniped one from the slot. I know it's probably like all his goals from the last fucking 10 years combined. No, Stevie, but yeah, just a beauty of a guy, good teammate, and I believe this is his last year, so he will be wanting to go out with a trophy, no doubt, and the Swindon boys that have been there and playing with him for a long time will be pulling for him, because I know he's a wicked teammate and the boys in the locker room love him. So yeah, good signing for Swindon. More depth. Interesting to see how they go around that other depth. Obviously they lost Neversaw, they lost Stone, so they need to do some work there. They have brought in Reece Kelly, which is a fantastic signing at the back. Mark,
Yeah,
who would you be looking at like for kind of depth signings for D? Because it's tough. There isn't many out there. Obviously, I'm going to touch on a couple of boys now. We lost Basingstoke. Banner's gone to Oxford. Marcus Mitchell's now joined him. He's gone to Oxford. Good signing for them. Thought obviously he was supposed to be there last year, and then he ended up going to Basingstoke and staying in Basingstoke. Did a good job for himself last year and put himself in the shop window. I actually think going back down to that level and having another year will be beneficial for him. And if Basingstoke would come back up, would 100% bring him back along to Basingstoke. He was very good third pair in D. Bairdy's now gone from Basingstoke to
Bees.
The Bees. Yep, sorry. Well, mine went blank there. And we know Jay King's gone somewhere else. So it's where does Swindon get their D from for depth? Do they start maybe promote some youth? I don't know.
There's one that comes to mind. I don't know if he's been announced yet, but it's not a spoiler. Like I genuinely have no idea what's going to happen. But is Edgar Bedbury classed as a Brit? I can't remember.
He's already staying there.
Is he been announced as re-signing?
I think he has.
Because if he hasn't, then I would say he would be back and maybe back on D again, which it is what it is. Yeah.
He could play the shape that guy's in. He can play until he's fucking.
He's I love him. Great player.
Literally, he can play forever at D. He's such good shape, big, powerful boy, and I really like him as a forwarder. I think he's wasted in D personally, but I'm not the coach. It's not my job. It's Aaron's job, and if Aaron wants him in D, and Eddie's happy to go in there, then get it done. Let's have a look in the chat here. What else do we have? I like this move.
Raiders have been busy.
Oh, let's go to that first then. So obviously they've got the returning signings of Sean Barry and Ashley Jackson, two solid depth players.
And Novak, Blaslav Novak is back at the Raiders as well.
And
awesome
joined by Zach Milton from Basingstoke. So Milts and Norcliffe, arguably Basingstoke's two best forwards in terms of point production last year, and danger on an evening. Then those boys are always dangerous, can always score goals. Their depth, I think Anthony Russell from Banners on the Walls said their depth's pretty frightening this year. Their British depth, sorry. And I would have to agree.
Yeah.
Very good additions, adding Milton and Norcliffe. Obviously, we've touched on Norks going there before, but Zach, I don't know if he's going to be on a two-way with the Flames again. It would make sense for him to continue on being with the Flames on a two-way. He didn't disappoint when he was there. All the boys in the room seemed to really like him, from what I was speaking to Oki and speaking to Turner and people like that. So, yeah, I like the move for Milton. I like the move for the Raiders. And Sean's just undercover putting together a little fucking wagon right now.
Agreed. And like Banners on the Wall said, completely agree. Their Brit pack is pretty frightening when you look at it. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of energy and a lot of youth.
Another solid player is leaving them though. Tommy Huggett. He's going to Invicta. But again, we'll go back to the Marcus Mitchell situation. I think this is probably good for Tommy as well. Go down, be the big dog at Invicta, play all the top minutes, get all the top reps, and he will be a better player for it, and he will end up being back, and he'll be in the national for a long time to come, I think, in the future. Mitchell King, he's staying at the Phantom, solid signing for them. I like that. Just a good depth player, brings you good energy, calm, confident. Speaking of good energy, what about Alan Lack? He's gone off to Chelmsford. Great signing for Chelmsford.
Yeah.
Very, very good signing for Chelmsford. He's the kind of guy that you hate to play against, but love to have on your team. And he's a team first kind of dude. We know that. If you haven't listened to Alan Lack's episode, actually, go listen to that. Yeah. That was really, really interesting. He's a crazy motherfucker. He's off to do some like triathlon up a mountain in like next week or something. Probably hasn't even trained for it. He didn't train for the triathlon. He didn't even train for the Ironman. Like he's just going to do an Ironman. It's all right. Guy's a fucking loon.
Fair play.
Yeah, he's a absolute Looney Tune. And he's doing this triathlon he's doing. He's like 91 kilos or something. He's so big. Obviously, like when he's doing triathlons before, he's doing it like before the hockey season and stuff. So he's not carrying as much weight, but just an absolute tank of a boy. He's going to be good for them. I always thought he had done a very good job, with the Bees. Whenever he was in Basingstoke, he was always one of the ones that
any team.
No, but like,
every
I mean,
team
like,
is
this last year, like when I was watching the Bees come in, like he was the guy you got off. Fucking Lackey's on the ice. Lackey's on the ice. You'd know when he's on the ice. He's bringing something every shift, and obviously with a step down in level, he's going to have a bit more offensive output to his game as well, which will help them. They're, from the signings I heard they've made so far, they're going to be looking all right, that Chelmsford team.
Yeah, they're looking pretty strong.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they stack up with Streatham and with Invicta and with Solent. Solent have brung Cole back, but obviously they lost his brother, who they're going to bring in between the pipes. That's an interesting one for Solent. Obviously, Chico's been there for fucking ever, and he's been good for a long time. But now they've got to replace him. I don't know who's going to go there. That'd be interesting. Put two and two together. Shepherd's left Jets. Could he potentially go there?
Potentially.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think outside the box, like who it could be. Because the fact that they announced Shepherd as leaving. But
where did Smittle go?
Not there. I don't think he's been announced as of yet.
But I can't remember if he was announced.
Lukey's been announced though. Lukey's now a full-time at Bristol Pitbull. He was obviously on a two-way with Pitbulls and Slough last year. He's now gone full-time with the Pitbulls. He's a good little player. He's got a little bit of fuck you about him as well, which I like. And yeah, I think he's obviously going to continue to get better. And speaking of boys that are going to continue to get better, Bailey Perrier and Ollie Endicott, a couple of Swindon boys playing up in Leeds. And what season those lads had. Ollie obviously started in Finland, came back over. He's a proper sandpaper guy. I love it. Yeah. He finishes every hit. He's just a prick to play against. Love that. He even dropped the gloves a couple of times last season.
Last season, yeah, he did.
Yeah, which is great. And he gives Aldi that like different little thing you can use. He's very effective on the forecheck. Like when you watch him play for GB20s, he's leading the forecheck. He's leading that physicality off the rush. And I like that. Bailey's still a young guy. Got a bright future. I think he's just undercover, doesn't make too many mistakes, and just goes about his game.
Gets the job done, yeah.
Yeah, he gets the job done. He's obviously going to learn a lot playing with those boys. Let's finish up with Sam Watkins. Sam Watkins has gone. Actually, a couple more. Sorry, I missed Cam Brownlee as well. So, Sammy Watkins has gone back to Telford Tigers. Good signing for them. I imagine he could be there for as long as he wants to be. I don't see him whether they're really leaving. He has no need to. Shout out Tom Watkins' testimonial. I know that's coming up. If you haven't already, check that out. Go check that out.
Get your tickets.
Cam Brownlee, he is a steel dog once again. He had a very good year when he came back. Obviously, he started the year in Hull, didn't work out from there, came back to the Dogs, and I thought he had a fucking wicked year.
Yeah, agreed.
Nice to see secondary scoring, right?
Yeah.
Which is going to be important this year with Bonner gone. Like secondary scoring is going to be crucial. I know obviously they've got players to announce, we all know what sort of damage like Huey and Biz can do together. So they're going to still have some good scoring, but losing Bones, that hurts as an additional scorer. Brownlee coming in, he obviously, I don't know what he's finished up with last year, but I feel like I watched obviously a lot of the Steel Dog streams last year, and he was scoring.
We watched most of them. Yeah.
Yeah, we did watch most of them. But I think that's all of them. I think we've got through it. Guys, how do you think you guys and girls, how do you think your rosters are shaping up so far? Are you happy with the amount of announcements coming out? Are you happy with the new additions that your team have brought in? Are you disappointed to see anyone go from your roster? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you like these videos. Let's get these algorithms working for us. Mark, anything else from you, my mate?
No, I'm just trying to find the stats for Brownlee last season, just to finish on something. So we know what we're saying. Last season, yeah, solid. So 21, he played 3 games with the Seahawks. He got 1 assist. 21 games with the Steel Dogs, 11 goals, 10 assists, 21. So point per game.
Yeah, very solid. So that's all you can ask for your forwards, really, if they're chipping in with a point a game. Being physical, being a pain in the ass to play against when you're not the top guys. That's legit depth. Obviously, they're going a new route. Woody's not going to be there. New coach, new players. Still like the wily veterans at the back there that don't seem to be going anywhere, which your team's built on defense, and those boys are very well put together at the back. So, yeah, also interested to see how the Dogs do. Still more signings to come. We're only in the start of June here. There's plenty more signings to come. Guys, you could also help us out right now. If you go onto our social media, you will see a post. And that post will say, where is the best place you have seen hockey in Europe? Post your videos on the link. Let us know if you've been to any big rivalry games. Obviously, there's been some great ones posted so far.
Yeah, good interaction so far. I love it.
Great interaction, and we love it because we're genuinely looking at them, and it's not like we're posting it and then being like fuck it and then just never checking it. We're obviously planning on our European stuff next year, which if you've been watching for a while you'd have heard now, and we're open to your ideas, like some obscure ones coming in, and I like that. I like the one with the rink with like where you're half sitting outside. And I like the sound of the ones where they cook like hot dogs outside in the snow when it's like -10 and it's fucking 3 foot of snow and stuff. Like that's cool. We ain't getting the games like that around here. So, you know, different looks, and it makes for entertaining content, especially some of those crowds. What do you reckon?
Oh, love it. Just to experience all the different countries and the different styles of hockey, different atmospheres, different levels of support. Yeah, it's a beautiful game in that respect.
Yeah, I love it. I can't wait for all that. Can't wait to take you guys there. If you want to help us out, you can go to buymeacoffee/4000 account. And if you want to get a ticket for our charity game, go to ticketlab.co.uk. You can get your tickets there. Mark, this has been fun, mate. I like the fact that the signings are coming thick and fast now. We're going to be bringing even more content to you throughout the summer. So make sure you stick around.
Yeah. More content to you in the summer, and we'll give you the Fife announcements in September. All the best.
Yeah, or maybe October. Depends. They're very slow. But yeah, guys, peace.